Hello everybody, I hope you guys are doing great, and here we are again, and this time we are gonna be working on the clone of Excalidraw website again, and let's see what all we can accomplish this time. We have some to-dos, actually a lot of to-dos here. Hopefully it will not take a lot of time and we'll be able to get the things done really quickly. Okay, so this seems to be done right now, and now we should be able to go on. Alrighty, so what are we gonna be doing right now? The last time, let's see. So coming back to this web, we were here, and inside features editor components, of course, and we were mainly working on this hooks section over here. And at this point of time, inside use canvas interactions, I just implemented this functionality yesterday. That is, whenever we move the mouse at that time, if selected tool is eraser at that time, on pointer move should be triggered, and that's just simply gonna be, it should rather be on pointer move erase. So when it comes to name of this particular functions, so on pointer move erase, that is it. This is the name of it, erase. If I actually come back here, so I'm gonna name it erase here, and that is it. So on pointer move erase, that's the name of the method here. And if I actually go to this one, so what we are doing, we just simply start erasing as soon as the mouse moves. But we have to just check one thing in here, that is the pointer should be down. If that is not down, then that is going to be problematic. So either I keep it here, or I am just gonna have it right here. So let me see which one's better option. Let's pass pointer f here too. Or we can have this here as well. So what I'm gonna do in here, first of all, is pointer down, and that's gonna be equivalent to is spanning as well. Okay, let's never mind. We have is pointer down here, so if the pointer is down, and is spanning is also here. Const is spanning, and apart from this particular thing, what are we doing in here? I think it's back again. Okay, let's not worry about it. The internet issue got fixed, at least for a period of time, automatically. So we have done this much. Going ahead, same we are gonna be doing here. If the selected tool is eraser and is pointer down, only in that case what are we gonna do? We are just simply gonna erase back here and draw a few images, draw a few lines as well, like this. I mean, that should be enough for testing purpose. We even gonna get the image. So this is the image that we have here. The only thing is that if I'm getting something, so sort of the new thing is always at the top, if I'm not wrong. We'll see. So if I'm actually drawing something here, suppose I'm drawing this something, let me go and fix this network issue, otherwise we'll keep just simply facing it again and again. I'll be back. Alright, here we are, and not sure whether I'm gonna face that again or not, but hopefully will not face it. And if I try for the text, it just simply removes the text as well, and this is how it just simply goes on. Alrighty, and I want to have excalidraw.com just beside me, and when I click on this, it always remains this, right? So I want this kind of what background, but the question is how can I have it? So first of all, what actually happens in here, that as we draw, it is let's see how it actually happens. So how does Excalidraw renders background while erasing like a snack based on cursor speed? So what I think right here, that at the end of the day, we have to maintain, as we are moving the mouse in here, right? So as I'm moving the cursor, so first of all I have to just save the coordinates of the cursor. So they are gonna be some kind of starting points. So I'm gonna have all the eraser points, and once I have all the eraser points, I'm just simply gonna get some of them and gonna draw some kind of what is that called, I'm gonna draw some kind of image, but that image needs to be deleted as well. So probably in few milliseconds that's also going to be deleted. So that is what I'm thinking of doing, but let's see. But I have to see what it says. So the snap effect in Excalidraw eraser is a clever rendering trick rather than actually erasing pixels continuously. So as you drag mouse, Excalidraw records the positions. I'd like to check exactly how it does it. So coming back to this application, so it doesn't really store this value, so that is just simply an array, that is it. That value is not being stored in the local storage, and that is something that makes sense as well. Because if they actually start, what is the value of storing this in the local storage? So that makes sense. So ultimately I'm going to have points in this particular format where I'll have just the coordinates of them. These points are corrected every pointer event, that is fine. Cursor speed determines spacing, so the faster you move, the further apart the sampled points become. So slow movement, they're gonna be like this, and they're gonna be like this. If Excalidraw only draw circles at these points, you would see gaps interpolated between samples. To avoid gaps, it fills the space between the two consecutive points instead of this. So it creates many intermediate circles or draws a thick capsule connecting them. So it is gonna do something like this. So the distance between 2 points, once it gets the distance, so step eraser multiplied by 0.4, that's gonna be the sort of radius, eraser radius multiplied by this 0.4. We are gonna be getting the count, exactly how many of them are needed. On the basis of that thing, we are gonna be just simply rendering them. This is why even at high speed there are no holes. Draw temporary eraser tail. Excalidraw doesn't immediately remove shapes from the canvas. Instead, every animation frame it renders something like erase trail 00. This is just a visual. Hit test along the trail. For every interpolated point, it checks which element intersects eraser. Okay, that's fine. We have already implemented this particular part. Why does it? Why it looks like a snake? The trails usually rendered as a thick, rounded stroke instead of isolated. because the stores constantly update every frame it appears on this mode. While fast movement still looks small, suppose suppose your eraser radius is 20 pixels. If the mouse jumps 60 pixels in one point without interpolation, they're gonna be looking like this. With interpolation, they're gonna look like this. Okay, let's see. I even have a few. Let me do one thing. Meanwhile, I'm gonna ask one AI to build this same functionality because we want it to be good, right? So to v0 version, it's all about being able being the snake type what background being rendered. Let's see if I had a zooming drawing board. I hope this was the one. The last time I built this using this AI, and this time I'm gonna so this was built, and this eraser functionality is also here. This particular board was sort of able to do the things. It's not like exact perfect, there are many bugs in this particular one, but it sort of did the job earlier, right? It gave me lots of ideas. So we have $3 credits. So make the eraser functionality better as we select an eraser and then move when pointer is down. I should see some kind of snake being what? Being displayed in the background and as the snake touches the shapes, they get deleted. The size of the snake increases or decreases as per the speed of the cursor, and the snake the snake what this appears as soon as the cursor stops. Alrighty, let's just simply give it to the AI as well. Hopefully it will be able to do a good job in this particular case, and we'll be able to get good examples from here. Of course we have to at the end implement it here, but that one thing we have to keep in mind, that is as we do what, coming back to this one, so as we start moving, at that time we have to collect all the points. So I think this is the section, and that needs to be nothing but just a state, and when it comes to that state we don't even need to save the value. So probably we can just save the state somewhere here, or this is the one on pointer down move erase, because we even have to render the snake, and as we have to render the snake, so that needs to be rendered as we move, right? Are we supposed to be doing? either I should keep this state here or somewhere else. Keeping somewhere else doesn't really matter. On pointer down drawing. This one is mainly used for drawing, so whatever is drawn, that's simply handled by this. And selected tool, eraser, pointer, move, erase, and probably I'm gonna keep it here. Let's see if I can do the same from here or not. So const eraser points, set eraser points, use state just like this. That's actually gonna be an array, and that's gonna be pointable type array. Like this. So when it comes to point tuples, it is just number by number. So ultimately we are going to have two-dimensional array, and that is it. It will just simply have x and y there. This is the first way, either having two-dimensional array or just having one-dimensional array that will just simply have what, x and y object in that. Okay, that's fine. So this is how we are gonna be going ahead, and as the mouse is actually being moved, we are getting the point, and as we are just simply getting the point, we have to render this. So set eraser points, and in this one I even need to have the previous values or not. This is insane. Like as soon as the mouse is moving, and after that it should just disappear. Not getting the exact way, but okay, just simply gonna do what? We are passing the point, so point but this is not gonna be enough, because at the end of the day we have to store the previous ones as well. So set eraser points, previous points dot okay, this should be alright. We are gonna be getting the previous points, and we are just simply gonna be saving it in them. And as okay, let's go with this. And apart from this particular thing, the thing is that only when the mouse up happens, then only that snake is going to disappear, or the particular line is gonna be disappearing, and that is sort of fine as well. Apart from this particular thing, once I have the eraser points, so I'm just simply gonna have a use effect here. That's just simply gonna run whenever the value of eraser points changes. And now at this level I have to just simply render what? At this level I have to render eraser background just like this. And what am I actually gonna do? I'm just simply gonna render a line, as simple as that. Okay, and to render that line we need the canvas ref. So either canvas ref or context. What is there in this particular section? We have the canvas ref, so let's just simply pass the canvas ref in here. We even have the context, right? So as we already have the context, because we just created this context where use canvas context, it was actually created there, that's fine. And as we have the context, so I'd like to pass this ctx ref in here. This thing I'll have to confirm whether the value that I'm actually, what the hell, which canvas? That is the context. Come on. But even if that is a context, that is just a canvas rendering context. It should be fine in this case. Now it is not problematic. But if I come back here, the context value that I actually have, that definitely can be null, and that is why the way we are implementing this logic is right. And once we have the context ref in here, so we have to just simply render. So when it comes to render, that simply means draw. So draw eraser background.ts. This is the logic that I'll have here, and it should be simple. I should just simply get this thing right here. So when it comes to just simply drawing something, so let's just try to write the logic right here, and after that I'll just simply keep it in a separate component. So we have the context. So context ref we have, that simply means context, that's ctx.ref and dot current. If I don't have context, I'm just simply gonna return from here. So this is it that I've done. Going ahead, once we have the context, so we should be able to do what? We should be able to draw the shape. So ctx dot context dot begin path. At the end of the day, what are we doing here? We are sort of trying to draw a line, and yeah. So for drawing a line, we can just simply we can use this logic. Can't it be used? This can be used. Yeah, we can use this one. So ultimately, if I just simply copy this much and come back here, not this one, this one. So let's just simply paste the values here. First of all, begin path, no need to have it here, and we have the ctx over here. So let's just do one thing, ctx, so that it's not problematic. Line width, I'm gonna keep it 4 usually, and we'll see exactly how it looks like. As for the white, it's not gonna be white actually. So let's keep it now. Of course, preview is not gonna be here, so in that case, what kind of color it has? Let's see if I can get the color from here. That is of this color, is not this? Let me go with this. I'm gonna have this color. Definitely I need to change the even background of mine, because my background is not quite dark right now. Yes, that's gonna be problematic. What kind of background is this? This or this? Not exactly dark, but somewhat this. Current stroke color, that's fine. Active tool preference, dark theme, username, theme is dark, view background color. So if I change the background to Why don't I have other canvas backgrounds in here? That is this one right now, right? We'll see. Coming back to this, we have only one option in here. Oh yeah, that's the one. We can even copy the color from here, and the color can actually be anything. There should be an option to reset. Yeah, here it is. Once I reset it, it still remains the same. Any Excalidraw. This is how it looks by default. These are the colors that I have. This is the color that is there for and if I just simply check this, okay, that's fine. If I switch back to this, it looks like this. What is this color? Hashtag F. That is it, just the sort of the black one. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, let's keep it. As for the point, and this is the color of, sorry, this is the color of the stroke style in the background that I have. Canvas, there should be 1 2 3 1 2 3 FFF, just like this. Okay, apart from this particular thing, going ahead, we don't really need to worry about this particular part. CDX begin path, it actually starts from where? That's interesting. Eraser points. Okay, if I don't have first point, in that case I'm going to return from here. This is the first thing. As for the eraser points, eraser points of I. If I don't have the point, I'll continue. If I have the point, in that case I'll draw, as simple as that. So that's gonna be point of 0 and point of 1. Eraser cdx.stroke, this is gonna be drawn, and once this particular thing is done, okay, so I've done this particular section, and apart from this particular thing, whenever the mouse up happens, so it probably needs to be inside what? Use canvas eraser. That's fine, the logic related to that I have it right here. I need to just pass this as well. Set eraser points. And I have to just simply set it to empty array whenever mouse up happens. So whenever mouse up happens, update canvas, and what if selected tool triple equals to eraser, in that case eraser dot set eraser points, that's actually gonna be an empty array. Let's see how it looks like. First of all, the color that I actually got FFF. That just changes. And at the end of the day, this is the magic of the dark mode, that it looks like that. Interesting. So at the end of the day, let's make that 0 0 0. So this is how my board looks like right now, and this is how my eraser looks like. The only thing is that when pointed down, it should be removed, but it is not getting removed. Use canvas eraser points. Whenever the value of eraser points changes, it should be crazy. Why is this not happening? What's my logic? Eraser pointer up. Eraser pointer up. Okay. Is eraser pointer up, drawing eraser background. Eraser pointer up. We are setting the eraser points to empty array. No, that's not gonna be a good idea. So keeping it like this would be better, but the thing is that reset eraser background, set eraser points to empty, and reset eraser background. This can be better option as well. So pointer up. Good question. What am I missing now? That's insane. What am I missing? It should be deleted, but it is not. Okay, let me do one thing that first of all, this is definitely getting triggered, so no need to worry about this as such. If I actually go here, reset this, I'd actually like to check the value of this CLG points. Got it. We have to clear it, yeah. So this is just not enough. Reset eraser background, clear canvas. So this is coming from huge canvas eraser. So we need to use this. Clear canvas size, this is it, and it needs to be used. So inside this reset background, I'll set it to this, and clear canvas from draw, clear canvas will be enough. It needs the CTX, I'm gonna pass, and that context I already have it here, and that is called CTX ref.current. The problem is that const CTX is gonna be CTX ref.current, and if I don't have the value of CTX, it's not really gonna be running, and the value that I'm gonna be passing, that's gonna be the CTX itself. And we are setting it to null, we are clearing the canvas, and that is it. It should be working now. Yep. On pointer up, it is not quite working. How can I optimize this? Suppose these are the images that I have. This is the first one, this is the second one, and this way I will have sort of many images, and I clicked this. Erasing, what the, oh my god, this is insane. When I'm clearing the canvas, it clears it all. What now? Or probably not. The previous images, they still be there. So as the canvas gets cleared, they even get re-rendered. So still there is a problem. The problem is this. So how can we make sure that rendering happens the right way? So we are sort of drawing that as well, right? So when it comes to drawing, so instead of having this logic here, we are gonna have this logic inside eraser points. First of all, do I really need to make a state? The question probably it could be yes, that it needs to be, so that we can access them. Otherwise I'll have to pass many values here and there. So in that case, if I come back here and selectors, not even selectors, editor store, few things need to be changed here. What are they? Shapes, set shapes. Eraser points, set eraser points, updater, eraser, set eraser points. Okay, now the question is, what about the type? What type? Oof, this is gonna be eraser points, as simple as that. Coming back to this, this seems to be okay. So we have this state here now, so that simply means we can access it anywhere. Let's go to selectors and so if we want to set, get state, the question is, can't I get the set eraser points? The difference is the subscription versus direct access. First method, React hook, that is right, and the second method is this is React hook, can only be used inside React components or custom hooks. Subscribe to the selected slice of the shape recommended for React code. Second method, direct store access, so use editor store get access, and this is not actually a hook, even though its name starts with use. It's it grabs the function once when the module is imported. It works anywhere, utility functions, event handlers outside the React canvas, and getting code web sockets. Why would you use get state? Imagine this file geometry erase.ts. In React components, in the inside React components or custom hooks, use the this particular one. Outside you can use this one, that's the primary region used and exposes both APIs. Okay, so let's do one thing. I don't think it's even needed because this is the use selector tool. Should I use here? Give me all the code. Why to write all the code again? It's just better to just simply get it from here. Hopefully it will be quick. So this time it is using use editor restore hook ultimately for all, as simple as that. And that's what I wanted. Eraser points, we have eraser points, we have set eraser points, we are just simply exporting them from here, the job will be done. And apart from this particular thing, what else are we supposed to be doing? So this, once we have this, then inside canvas.tsx, or not even there. Let me go to the hook. We have use canvas context handles rendering of the shapes whenever the value changes. I want it to run even when the value of eraser, of course I need to get the eraser points. I think I could have kept it somewhere else. We'll see exactly what's the best place to keep, but for now, eraser points. Use eraser points, that is it. Once I have it, so it should be running whenever the value of eraser points changes, and the job is done. It will be running just after that. That's gonna be sort of good. And coming back to this file, instead of keeping it in here, okay, here we are. Remaining things are gonna be sort of same for now, no need to worry about them. It is gonna be rendering it whenever the value of this changes. So let's see what happens now. Suppose I have these images and I started deleting, so only this gets deleted right now, and that's what I wanted. Now if I just simply select this, both are gone. We have made it right. It's not bad either. So suppose I've drawn this, and the good thing is that we made it without taking the help of AI and all. No doubt we are gonna be even having a look at what exactly the AI built for us, but at the end of the day, we've done it. As simple as that. Just simply keep it here. Even there is a bug in it, so we have to fix that. And once, let me get the image as well, like this. And suppose I started drawing, so I started drawing a tree like this, but then I thought, okay, this is wrong, right? Sorry. Then I thought, okay, this is wrong, so I'll delete this. Probably I'll delete this, right? Okay, this is done. And then I started, well, it went wrong again. So why am I not able to delete this? Probably we are not able to delete the shapes well. So So in that case, hmm, it turns out that the way I'm deleting it, that's not the most optimized way. So we have to figure it out. Exactly what am I missing? And especially when, first of all, this is great. It is somehow working the way we want it to work. So if we want to simply delete, we'll delete this and we'll delete this. The only thing is that the tolerance that we are simply thinking of it, the shapes to have, that's not enough. So we'll have to work on that. Okay, so this is what we've done. And as expected, if it is fast enough, it will not be able to catch. What to do? In that case, first of all, let's keep it here. So draw can background, and this needs to be export default function draw eraser background. We have to do this again. We have to get the ctx ref. So ctx ref, that's gonna be a ref object of we need to get the eraser points too. Eraser points, an array, and this is going to be done. Okay, this thing is done, but there is a problem in the logic. What is that problem? If I actually come back here, ctx ref, that simply means is this working? Yeah. What is the problem right now? Suppose I've drawn this. If I start using this, they are gonna be quickly deleted. But in my case, it does not happen that way. So probably I need to increase the so as I'm deleting this on pointer mode delete and point in shape. So at that time the radius of the shape should be increased. So we are passing this, we are passing this. What should be the tolerance? Tolerance should actually increase. Tolerance is actually gonna be padding. Padding is usually inside. Let it be tolerance. tolerance. I don't know whether this is the good name or not, but we'll see it. This is gonna be actually 20. It's just gonna be doubled. And now what will happen as we start deleting? I don't know whether 20 is a lot or not, but we'll see. Tolerance. Any problem? No problem as such. I'm gonna be using this if it exists, otherwise I'm gonna be using this. As simple as that. So this is the second thing. I'm gonna pass it in there. Same thing is gonna happen for this one as well. Same thing is gonna happen for this. Should be fine. Tolerance. This and the third one. Talking about how it can be used though. Point in polygon. Well, this is not really being used, never mind. How about this? Tolerance. We are not using tolerance here. That's something insane. And that why is what is it was problematic. So using tolerance how? When it comes to using the tolerance, so we get the point and point x and point y. We try to get the distance between the closest one and the point, right? Yeah. Just a minute. What are we doing here? We have the start point, we have the we have a point, we have a start point, we have end point, and on the basis of that thing, what it does, distance to segment, it just simply gives me the distance. I don't need tolerance over here. This much is gonna be fine, and so once I get that, I have this tolerance over here, right? So distance to segment, tolerance, sort of like this, and that's gonna be right as well. So this thing is done. Point in segment. And point in segment is going to be used for all. So hopefully this is done for all. And I'm gonna increase the tolerance. So let's see how it's gonna be like. So if I have this rectangle in here, as the tolerance has been increased, so if I move my mouse, yeah, it's just deleted from this far. Tolerance is too much, but so tolerance is not a problem. I can even keep it 10. What can I do now? For this, sorry, not this. We don't need to worry about the shapes, because doesn't matter how fast we move, they get deleted. We have to worry about the lines. They do get deleted, but when I move the lines, when I move it's slower. But as I increase the cursor speed, they just simply sort of get skipped. So overall, it's not like we are not able to delete. Doesn't matter what we have on the screen, we are sort of able to delete them, but provided we just simply give it some time. And this is our good looking eraser background. Anyway, so as for right now, let's be okay with this. We will be figuring it out, so that's gonna be a fix. Fix quick. Fix it so this is what we are gonna be doing later, but as for right now, that's completely fine. And yeah, good job, we've done it. Okay, what is the next feature? So as we are drawing the images, we have to draw them from the last, so that the last one is at the top. Okay, fine. So whenever I'm drawing them, where am I drawing them? Of course I'm drawing them inside this one. Don't really know this is the best place to just simply draw them or not, but we'll see later. I'll move it. I don't really need this, so let's just simply get rid of this. This much is gonna be enough. Render shapes, I'm just simply passing all the shapes over here. This render shapes function is mainly responsible for rendering them, and all the shapes I'm just simply looping through them. What I have to do over here, just the opposite, bro. Let's just simply cut this. For let I is gonna be all shapes dot length. I should be greater than or equals to 0. I minus minus. And shape is actually gonna be all shapes dot I. And the result. If I don't have a shape, I'll continue. Any problem? No problem as such. Try this thing now. This second, third, and fourth. I may when I click, now it's all about hit testing as well. You have to test them from the last. So first of all, you have drawn them like that. So I think drawing doesn't really matter, so we'll see. whenever I'm hit test geometry, that must be inside that. So here it is. So when it comes to hit testing, so we have to test them from the last, right? Whether that okay, so get shape as position. Let I is gonna be equals to shapes dot length. I should be greater than equals to 0. Minus minus shapes dot I. I don't have the shape. Time to check this. Oh yeah, now I'm able to select it. And if I actually draw a shape on top of all of them, so whenever I click, I'm gonna be just simply able to select that. So let's move it aside. Then I selected this, move it aside. Then I selected this, move it aside. Then I selected this, move it aside. Then the number of this comes. And when it comes to erasing that, so the upper one should be deleting. In erasing, we don't really have any problem. Like they are anyhow going to be getting deleted. Yeah. So no problem with this as such. But for example, we have something like this and this. Which one is gonna be deleted? And doesn't matter, both. Okay, so no problem with delete as such. So this is sort of working. Even we have fixed that. But suppose I created this rectangle. I wrote some text here. Hi, what's up? Okay, and now I can select that what's up, and I can move that what's up here and there anywhere. And this is how it can actually be done. That's a good thing anyway. And of course we can delete it. And I like this, though it is not like what Excalidraw clone app, but it is good, isn't this? And we can have a highlighter option as well, and it should be able to just simply write anything. Anyhow, let's continue. So this particular thing is done, and what's the next feature that we have to work on? This section is done. Implement undo redo. Wow, but before that, add text when double clicked. So whenever we click double, so we should be getting, it doesn't really matter, just a minute, especially when the type is selected, because if the type is tool is erase, so it doesn't matter how many times you double click, nothing's gonna happen. Only here it works. Yeah, so we have to just simply get this thing done as well. I'm gonna take a break for 5 minutes. After that I'll be back and then continue from here on. Hope it's gonna be good. Anyway, just I'll be back anyway after 5 minutes. Until then, bye bye, take care. Let me just simply set the timer. Here it is. The timer is set. I'll be back. Hello everybody, welcome back, and let's just simply continue. So we came this far, and we have to even go further, and hence let's just simply start working on more things from here on. And what's gonna be the next one? The next one is going to be, we already had that, didn't we? Double click text. So especially what I was thinking that we have many hooks, right? We have brought, not this actually, we are talking about hooks in here. We have used canvas context, especially from for drawing. Canvas context should handles context creation and handles rendering. So what does this drawing do? Drawing just simply draws. So on pointer up drawing, on pointer move drawing, on pointer this drawing. Just a minute, let's just do one thing. Restructure the code a little bit, that would be better. And how to restructure it? By keeping it aside, of course. So it would be better if the code is a bit restructured, then we'll focus on the more functionalities. So let's just simply do that. So the first thing is that give me the names of all the hooks I ever need in Excalidraw clone app. Let's see. So we are gonna need a huge canvas size, canvas renderer, canvas animation, canvas grid, canvas cursor. Okay, I just forgot one thing, that we may have different types of background as well. So at that time this is gonna be used. Huge canvas cursor, canvas history is gonna be there. That is also fine. Canvas cursor is going to be there for changing the, using the cursor and all. Then we have huge canvas grid, fine. Canvas animation, and for pointer and mouse, huge pointer events, huge pointer state, pointer position, pointer capture, pointer velocity, pointer pressure, mouse wheel touches, and this. For drawing, use drawing. So what I think here, that I should have something called canvas renderer. Where should I keep you and use okay, I use effect that renders the shapes. So this should be rendered given inside use canvas renderer.ts. So everything that is getting rendered, that should be part of this, right? What about use effect that renders eraser background while erasing? So render eraser preview. That's fine. So pointer move, use eraser, update eraser points, render canvas, render shapes, render eraser preview. No use effect involved. So it is mainly suggesting me to render them. If you are using a request animation frame, render eraser preview. Just a sec. Handles renderings of the shape. So this is it. First of all, it is inside use canvas context. That's not the best place. So probably that is related to rendering. So that can actually be used canvas renderer.ts. Use canvas renderer.ts. Export default function use canvas renderer. This is a hook that simply has these things. And use canvas context. That's fine. Let's get rid of this. And I'm gonna keep it here. Apart from this particular thing, let's see. ctx ref object, it can even be null, that's also fine. And handles rendering of the shapes. This is the first thing. And similarly I need to create one more. Use canvas renderer. What I think it should do actually, if I go to this particular section, I have this eraser stuff here, so I'll just get rid of it, and I'll be back in here, and eraser, draw eraser background, right? So I need it here. Eraser points are already here. That is it, nothing else. So in the canvas context, we'll have just the canvas context related stuff. It will export the context. We have canvas eraser, that's just simply erases. Delete shape, I can get rid of this. And it just simply sets it. That's fine as well. This seems to be fine. Canvas interactions, it is even better. That's interesting. what to name a function for this when pointer happens now. Reset pointer state. Reset pointer state, I don't think so. So what's gonna be better option? Reset pointer state. Reset pointer up state. How about the reset pointer up state? Okay, let's go with the pointer state only. So cut here we are, and probably this section needs to be in there as well. So okay, that's sort of enough. What is the next thing that we can do? So we have done this much. Apart from this particular thing, canvas interactions, handles rendering related stuff. Canvas size is also enough. Drawing, that simply handles drawing related. Image upload handles image uploaded. Pen already clear. Pointer state gives me the states. Selection interaction after selecting whatever the interaction we need. Shape move handles the shape move shape. Resize handles resize. Text editing of course handles that. Save text, and it has all types of events in this related to text editing. We are passing what? We are passing save text. So one more can be there, that is text editor size, that is also fine. If I actually come back to this components canvas in canvas.tsx, and we have this image input here, not image input, text editor here, right? So what I want that if I double click, that's gonna be interesting. How are we gonna be implementing this? Overall things are fine. So whenever I double click, it should be visible. If not text editing state, I have to return. That simply means if I somehow have the value of text editing state, I can get this. That's right. So if I double click, I have to just simply set the value of text editing state. Yeah, that's right. Besides, if the text area should appear or not. Okay, so time to set the text editing when double clicked. Coming back to this one, on canvas, whenever I double click, now the interesting thing is that that is it. We have to just simply export it from here. Handle double click, coming back to this one. That is going to be, well, handle key down. Where is this being used? It's been used in here. Text editing. Okay, so this is what I wanted. Now I have to work on this one. We have to set the value of text editing state. It simply means I'm gonna be getting the event. Mouse event or pointer event. Let's see if it works. It does. Okay, once we've done this, set editing state. Should we get the previous value over here? We double click. No. Whenever we double click somewhere at that time, x is gonna be event dot client x. Now is this the value? Right, event dot client x, because when it comes to set editing client x on the screen, yeah, that's right. Y is gonna be event dot client y. Text. So clicking outside means handle pointer down. Save text shape. Okay. X and Y, that's problematic. So that simply means I assume that whenever I'm just simply selecting that, at that time I have the correct coordinates. Let me go to canvas interaction, on pointer down. When it comes to select, we have a start point and this. That simply means, what are we doing? We are getting the real start point. That simply means they are the canvas points. initialize pointer state, start point, it simply returns. It actually gets the point and it returns the point. That simply means screen to canvas coordinates. So we have canvas coordinates over here. That simply means canvas coordinates are saved, and if I have to just simply render the text area, so those canvas coordinates are converted back into screen coordinates. Fine, got it. So the thing that extra that I need to do here, that is text editing state, and I'll double click const point get screen to canvas coordinates, screen x, that's event dot client by pen. This is fine, and at the end of the day, these values we are gonna be saving. We have to even pass canvas. We don't have it here. Interesting. Canvas. Okay. Time to get the canvas. We have the canvas here. Then nothing could be better than that. This is it, and then I have to pass the value of the canvas. That's gonna be the third value. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but here we are. Now we don't have the value of these. Okay, this seems to be fine. So let's check this thing out now. It is still disappears, or it does not. The text is black. Not really, text is white. Handle double click, this is it. I click outside. Let me see the text that is being saved. We don't have shapes here. Never mind, if we don't have shapes here, then we are gonna have them here. We don't have here either. That's interesting. Shapes. We have the shapes inside what? Render shapes. Shapes, just simply We did not even save the shape. Why? No, I have to figure it out. Why is the shape not being saved? So we have this text with the value. Then trimmed that text with the value. Text with the value. The value of the shape that is changing. That is so. What am I missing? Here we are changing the value of shapes. As this value gets changed here, oh, those values were there. I was just not able to see them. Move is also not working. Select is not working either. Interesting. What we did right now, we moved a few things here and there. I would rather like to fix it than simply going back. What I mainly did, that is, we had this renderer over here. I just simply passed this. This is not a problematic thing. After that, what I did, I tried adding the double, right? So let me do one thing. Let's pause this feature for a while. So text editing. Okay, those things are sort of required here, that's fine. It's actually gonna do nothing as of right now. Checking this thing out right now. We are still not able to move it, that's fine. So canvas context, this is not a canvas.ctx. We just simply changed this. Even I'm gonna be commenting this right now, so this should not be problematic thing. That is right. That is not a problematic thing. I didn't really do anything as such there. Then we have I changed a few things inside interaction, this particular section, and the most important thing was this. So let me copy it and Okay, so this is it. So we have the things like this, and it turns out this is not a problematic thing. So this is not a problematic thing. Then what else we did? We were trying to format a few things, right? While formatting, I draw eraser background, and we have handle rendering shapes. Okay, so use renderer, probably it's not being used. Yeah, so, or it should be used inside this canvas interaction, and use canvas renderer ctx.ref. Now this is fine. So we just simply forgot to use this, and there was no problem with anything as such. Yeah, able to do that. So luckily we found this, and that simply means if I remove this particular section, nothing as such should happen. If is resizing, that simply means there's gonna be nothing eraser and all, so returning from there is better option. Yeah, let's keep it there. But even when we remove it, is this problematic, or we are able to just do it? Now the only thing is that we are still not able to select that. That simply means we undid many things. No, we are able to select that. Yeah, we are able to select that. So even if it is running nothing, so pointer up down. That is it. Reset pointer state, if that is actually equals to resizing. Editing thing, uncomment it. Once uncommented, this should sort of be working fine as well. So Let's see how it goes. Yeah, it works. Hi there. So we can double click anywhere and we can just simply start writing. What's up? And this is how it's just simply gonna work. One more thing we can do, that is having the default font size, so that whenever we click we have that font size by default. Okay, that's gonna be insane, but definitely great. But it is gonna happen later, not right now. As of right now, I'm happy with this particular functionality too, and this is not bad, right? Yeah, this is not bad. Now we have to, whenever we click, as soon as I select that and I click, because if I directly click that gets selected, if that is selected and I click, I should be able to edit that again. Yeah, how are we going to do this? We want to edit the shape. That is interesting, gonna be amazing. So again, this particular part will be handled inside this only, text editing probably. But the question is that how will I know if the shape is selected? So for that thing, where to have the logic? Once the shape is selected, that is selection logic, right? This one, isn't this? And that to on pointer down, the shape is going to be selected. Once the shape is selected, then what? Amazing, it's gonna be fantastic. So once the shape is selected, we have to check the type, which shape that is, and if that shape is what? If shape at position dot type, that's triple equals to a text. In that case, of course, at the end I'm gonna return, but before that, what am I gonna do? What am I doing here? Oh yeah, that's right. All this gonna be on pointer down, and when it comes to pointer down, I got the selected shape. So here what we are doing, we are storing the pointers. They are gonna be later needed. Don't we need to do the same thing here? We got the shape at position. Once we have the shape at position, I set the value of the selected shape. That simply means it is going to render the box around that. Once there is the box around that, and we have the shape at position, what we have to do? We have to store the starting values. So text text edit state, that's good name. So ultimately text edit state dot current, somehow I have to get it, and I have to give it the value of shape at position, something like this. The only question is that text edit state, this is the, of course it's gonna be coming from pointer refs dot this text edit state ref. So whenever we start editing a text, so what we are doing, that as soon as we click on a shape, right, and if the type is actually text, we store it somewhere, and when we click again, and if the type is actually selected, in that case we start editing it. But to edit that, we needed the starting values, didn't we? Just a minute, do we actually need this? How would we know if shape is already selected? Let's comment this for now. Probably later we are gonna need this, but the thing is that as I click down here, I am getting the shape. Selected shape dot type is gonna be equals to text. There could be probability that even this does not exist. So if I have the selected shape and selected type is this, then at that time what do we have to do? If there is selected shape already, the type is equals to text, so we have to set then we have to edit the values, and on pointer up, not on pointer up actually, whenever we click outside we have to store the values. And this time it's not like we will have only one, we'll actually have everything related to that particular text. That's right, so the whole state I'll have. How about just simply storing the text in the, just storing the text, then changing that and then setting the values. How about the ID? How will I get the ID? So ID will be the shape that is already selected, so from there I'll get the ID. So the ID of the selected shape, that is fine. Whenever we are saving, so we'll get the shape by the ID of the selected shape, so that will work. The another thing is that when I am doing this, so at that time I need to save some value, so probably text editing state. So set text, of course I need to get this first of all. Let's see if it works. So coordinates or the screen coordinates, well, that is something I have to figure out, but at the end of the day we'll have ID. If that, wow, that's amazing, ID is gonna be there. So ID is gonna be selected shape dot ID, that's amazing. X is gonna be selected shape dot X, I'm not sure this is the right value, but we'll see. Y is gonna be selected shape dot Y, and the text is gonna be selected shape dot text. Here we are, we have saved all these values. Congratulations. Once this is done, then of course but at that time we have to do one more thing. We have to hide the shape. As soon as we are editing that, now we have to hide the shape. Hiding the shape in the sense removing the previous one. But the another thing is that delete the shape. And when it comes to deleting the shape, so I need to use something called use shape, and that will be responsible for adding and deleting. That is right. So let's create, okay, I'll do that, but before that let's see whether it works or not. Hi there, clicked one more time. Now I can write more things, writing more things. But as I am writing more things, what is happening? The previous shape is already selected. What should ideally happen? The previous shape should be removed. Wow. So we have to delete the previous shape. And whenever we are saving, we have to check whether that shape already exists or not. Yeah. So whenever we are saving the value, use text editing. So save text shape. Set shapes. So whenever we are saving, what do we have to check? We already had this logic long time ago. I can't go back. Okay, so as I'm just simply setting the shape, so what I have to do, text editing state, right? It may have the ID as well. So in here, while setting the shape, so editing state dot ID, if it has the ID, triple equals to selected shape selected shape is always gonna be there, right? Selected shape. So if it is going to be there, shape.id, only in that case, if it exists. In that case, what I have to do? In that case, whenever we are saving, dot map shape dot ID that I have here, previous shapes. So from the previous shapes I'm getting this, until unless I have actually deleted that. So come on, think about something. What can be better way? As we are editing that, so the previous value needs to be deleted, or the previous value needs to be edited. As we are editing, if text is actually being edited, that particular value should not be visible. That simply means if text is selected shape, I have to sort of not delete that. Deleting is not gonna be a better option. Rather, what we can do, we can just simply edit that. So if shape.id triple equals to now as we start editing, we even have the text editing. text editing state dot id. In that case I'm gonna return this, otherwise I'm gonna return the shape. Now the problematic thing is that shape itself in an object. So this seems to be fine, isn't this? Whenever we are saving the shape, we are just simply checking whether the shape.id is gonna be equals to this text editing state. Think about it, because whenever you double click on over there, so you will already have the value of text editing state. You will have set that, then only that's gonna be visible. As that is visible, so you can compare it over here. And if you have the value of text editing state, it doesn't matter whether that is selected or not. So as you have the value of this, you have to no, if you have the value of this and the id is actually equals to some shape's id, at that time that should not be visible. Okay, another logic, whenever we are rendering here, right? But it's not yeah, we are rendering here. So, and whenever we move the mouse, at that time are we rendering too? So as we are pointer up, moving the mouse, whenever we are drawing, render preview shapes. At this point we are rendering the preview shape when moving the mouse, but when we are editing a text, at that time we are not moving a mouse. We may be, but at that time we are not drawing anything, and if we are not drawing anything, we'll just simply return from here, and the text type is gonna be text, so this is definitely not going to be called. Rather, if the type is actually text, if the type is text, at that time we are just simply gonna do what? We are supposed to be text, like adding the text. That simply means even if we move the mouse, this particular section should not be running. So text is a special case, that's right. And because if I do not return here from here, so context start relative point, drawing points are gonna be there, rendering shape is gonna be there, shapes are going to be rendered. So as we are moving, right, and if that is actually select, so do something and return. If that is equals to erase, do something and of course return. If that is equals to pen, do something and return. Similarly, if selected tool triple equals to text, at that time I'm gonna directly return. Like when you move, nothing should happen, nothing at all. So this is gonna be fine. And the next thing is that in here we are already saving it the right way. Now whenever we double click, that simply means on pointer down, right? Canvas interaction, on pointer down, if that is equals to text, then this is happening. and we are talking about select here. So if I go to this particular section, we don't need to delete the shape. First of all, this thing we'll just simply set it. Now what will happen? A new value will appear, but they will not be duplicated. Let's see. Reload the page. That disappears. There's no selected shape. Why? Let's see what could be the reason. Pointer down, there's no selected shape, so this is never gonna run. Selected text shape, so there's no way that this is gonna be running. As expected, that part is not running. Good stuff. As that part is not running, so it should be simple. Now the question is, why am I not getting any shapes here? From the render shapes, the value of the shape is getting logged, and the answer can be inside this, that whenever I'm trying to save, I'm getting the previous shapes, then mapping through them, and then editing. Now if the shape.id that I'm getting, if that's equals to text.id, in that case I have to do this. But clg text editing state, text editing state, that's gonna be null if I'm not wrong. That's not null, that is this, but that does not have the id. That simply means this thing is not gonna be true. If this is not true, so the shape is still gonna be there. Now we have to get the shapes. Yeah, so the value of the shape is not really there. So this part is not working because we don't have any previous shape. As simple as that. If we don't have previous shapes, then we won't get any shape, and if we won't get any shape, it will not be happening. Okay, that's clear. In that case, it is mainly for editing, it is not for saving, right? So how can I get this logic right? How was this earlier? It was like this, that it was getting the previous shapes, it was just simply adding a new one, right? And it was just simply getting returned. The question is that the shape that I'm trying to save, what if that already exists? How would I know that? I can know that if text editing state has the id, that simply means the shape is being edited. So there can be one, let me copy it, go back, Yeah, this much. So there can be one test check here. Let's just simply paste it. And what is that check gonna be? That is, if text editing state, if it actually has the ID, this is the test. If it has the ID, that simply means we are trying to update a shape. And the remaining cases, and what we will do, we'll simply return from here. And because even when click the outside, we will not have the return, sorry, we will have the else statement, else case right in here, and we will have this logic here again. Now the same set shapes is getting repeated twice. So what can be better way to write this logic? We'll see if there can be a better way to write this logic. Probably set shapes, and then we can check if that has, and on the basis of that thing I did this or that. That can also be one of the ways. So let me try writing this. So we'll have this right like this only, and in this particular section we'll actually gonna check previous shapes. Once we have the previous shapes, if I have text editing state dot id, in that case this, otherwise this. And this should be previous shapes. Alrighty, this should this is already getting returned, right? So whatever result we get, we are just simply gonna be returning that result. And if the text ID exists, that simply means we have to update, and if not, we have to add a new one. So that's what we are doing. We'll see if it works or not. So this thing is done. The previous shape goes away, but the only thing is that even if the previous shape somehow we have to remove the value of the previous shape, that needs to be removed. So whenever we are rendering the shape, that's gonna be one more logic. These things are simple, right? That if we have text editing state, that simply means we are editing that. If we have id in text editing state, we are editing shape. And that's actually going to be passed in here. If you are asking why, So the answer is that first of all it can be null as well. So first of all it is optional, it is not like I have to send it all the time. So when do I have to send it? We'll see. One step back. Come on, use canvas renderer. So the value of this can definitely be null, as the value of this can definitely be null. So first of all it is optional, and second one, I don't have to send it all the time. I can send it as well, it's not really a big problem. If I have the ID, only in that case text editing state is going to be sent. It is saying null or undefined and blah blah. String is not assignable to text editing state. String. How about this? Undefined. Like, this is not a better option, so what's the better approach? Let me show you the better one. If I have text editing state, in that case send this, and send this again. Yeah, now this is fine. So if I have the value of text editing state, and not only that, text editing state.id exists, in that case I'll pass the value of it, otherwise I will not pass the value. So this is the first logic that I have here. And what will this do anyway after going there? So the text editing state that I'm gonna get at, that first of all can actually be undefined as well, forget about being null. It may not be completely sent. So first of all this is optional, so that is also fine. And when it comes to this text editing, so let me see if in here the value of this text editing state is just a minute. It can definitely be null. So either I'm gonna send or not, I'm not gonna send that at all. So that's completely fine in here. That simply means if I go to this, either I have this check or not, doesn't matter. Once we have this text editing state, this is where we have to implement that. What is that implementation going to be? If the shape or either we don't have the shape or shape.id, that's triple equals to text editing state.id. Now of course it can be optional, possibly undefined, that's completely fine. If it falls under this category as well, then that particular shape will not be rendered, rather it's going to be skipped. try this. As expected, it's sort of working, but we have to remove this. We have to remove what? In that case, we have to remove two things from here. Selected shape and the value of bounds should be set to null. When? It should be set to null whenever we start editing, as simple as that. And when we start editing, at least this is fine. Skip the rendering of the text if text is being edited. This is the first thing in here. And apart from this particular thing, whenever we click, so that same thing is interaction, that too can selection interaction. So the type is actually text, and of course selected shape and all that is fine. If that is already selected and selected type is gonna be equals to text, so of course we have to set this value, and we have to do two more things in here. And what are they? The first one, that is reset the value of selected shape and selected shape bounds if the shape is being edited. Let's see how will we do it. We have both set selected shape null, set selected shape bounds null, return. If that is actually so, I'm not really gonna do anything else just after that. Let's see. Did we do it? There are bugs. Oh, one thing we missed. What is that? If you just click, in that case you have to do it, but if you actually start moving, then one more thing, we have to set them null, and we have to start editing it if pointer is not, what pointer is moving. So this is happening on pointer down. On pointer down, we need to do something, because in this particular case, if we just click, it just simply it starts editing. But if we just simply move, yeah, so it should be happening on pointer up. What the heck? Yeah, actually on pointer up. Why? Because what is happening here, as we click here, nothing is happening. Only when pointer up happens, then something is happening, right? So suppose if I clicking, nothing happens, then it happens. So we are actually editing the shape on pointer up. First of all, this thing on key up or pointer up, that's the same. This is the first thing. And the another thing is that when the pointer actually happens, it's not like it will happen all the time. So what could be the way? So we have to first of all edit it on pointer up, and probably we need to store the value of is moving as well. So suppose when it is moving, so I need to know whether it is moving or not, and if pointer up is happening after is moving, then nothing should happen, otherwise it should just simply edit that. Understood what we have to do? Let's see. So first of all, this whole logic that I have in here, this needs to be, but one more thing, yeah, if I'm actually removing this logic from here, so how about selection? The shape is selected on pointer down, isn't that? So the selected shape, and now there is a second thing happening on top of that. So there's a logic that we have in here. Let me try keeping it inside. Pointer up, handle pointer move, handle pointer up, we are gonna be keeping it here, and probably before even resetting anything we have to keep it. First of all, we don't have selected shape in here, so of course I have to get it. Got the selected shape, and this is how it looks like. So if selected shape is this and the type is this, at that time it should be edited. Let me see how it looks like. There is a problem. There was the selected shape, then pointer up happened, and that selected shape just a sec, give me a moment. Alright everybody, welcome back. So first of all, we actually need to know what is happening in here, otherwise we won't be able to do. So as we click on the image, nothing is happening, the image gets selected, then we click again. Now which event gets triggered here? Because image gets selected first of all. First font size. That's fine as well. So what I was saying, that image gets what? Okay, image gets selected when the pointer down happens. Pointer down. We have to understand it well, otherwise it's gonna be harder. So on pointer down, the image got selected. Now when we clicked, so when we click selected image, selected shape, when we click, what kind of event that is? Is that pointer down? So is that down or up? If it were down, so when I clicked and did not leave my mouse, then it should have been even editing. The editing should have started. Only when we, even then that doesn't work. So if we wow, that's insane. That if we directly click, it works, but if we click for some time and then nothing happens. So what kind of approach is being used here? Because if we directly click, it simply works, but if we click and don't do anything, it does not work. How to implement this feature? How does Excalidraw handles text editing? Because when I directly click and it starts editing, but when I click and leave after some time, it doesn't edit. Excalidraw distinguishes between click, drag and long delay before deciding to enter text editing mode. So pointer down, pointer up, click. Conditions: same text element, pointer moved only few pixels, time between down and up is short, no drag occurred. Direct click, okay, start text editing. So ultimately text editing starts. Click, hold, release, don't edit. Pointer, hold for 1 second, pointer up. This is not considered a click anymore. So how they likely implement it? On pointer down, performance dot now, on pointer down position is dragging true, drag threshold, duration, pointer down we add it here, then pointer up we have here. Okay, so if the distance between pointer down position and pointer up position is greater than drag threshold, pointer down, not this one. If duration is less than the click duration, start editing. If either the shape has been moved, so if the shape hasn't been moved and clicked text exists and duration should be less than clicked duration, at that time we have to edit it. And this happens when pointer up happens, on pointer up. So we thought it right that it is going to be implemented on pointer up, but we have to check this duration. We already have the clicks text or text editing state. We click the test. Okay, fine. We have text editing step, that is okay. We have to get the duration. Once we get the duration, we have to calculate the duration. We even have to know whether I actually moved the mouse, because moving is moving even if I moved it a bit, right? So two things: the duration ref I need, and is the dragging ref I need. So if I go to there are gonna be reps, yeah. So over here I need two more things. Reps for text editing. Const duration ref, not really duration. That's gonna be pointer down time. Pointer down time ref, use ref. Now what's gonna be the type? Most probably that's gonna be date, or it can be null. Const is dragging. I haven't really used this is dragging thing anywhere, right? Because we never needed this. Right now we need it. Use ref can be boolean. By default it's gonna be false. So whenever we start moving, at that time we have to set it to true, and after that it needs to become false again whenever pointer up happens. Done. Let's just simply export these two. So pointer down time ref and is the dragging ref. That is it. We have done this part. Now whenever pointer down happens, pointer down, and so at what time do we need to do this? This time is only needed for the text, right? So especially when the type is actually select. So on pointer down, we have it here. We already have a pointer refs in here, so in that case when do we need to save the value of it? It only needs to be saved when if selected shape dot type, that's triple equals to text. In that case, again, if that exists, so pointer reps dot pointer down time ref gonna be equals to performance dot now. Okay, what is the type of this? The type is performance. Performance dot now in JS. So that is actually now. So performance dot now or date versus date now. Unlike date dot now, the timestamps returned by performance dot now are not limited to 1 millisecond resolution. Instead, they represent the time as floating point numbers with up to microsecond precision. And date dot now may have been impacted by system user clock and blah blah blah. Performance dot now method, on the other hand, is related to time origin property, which is okay. That's fine. It is better. As simple as that. So performance.now is a method in JavaScript in a high resolution timestamp measured in milliseconds. It is the industry standard for measuring code execution time, benchmarking performance, and managing high frame rate animations. The type is usually the performance itself, so what is the problem? What kind of noise was that? Is everything fine here? Hope so. Anyway, what are we gonna be doing now? Pointer down this. The type is actually gonna be performance. The type is performance itself, so it should not be problematic. Type of performance dot now. So the type is actually a number. That can be performance as well. Okay. Let's have 0 in that case. Come on. That's fine. So if the type is text, then of course the performance is gonna be here. And apart from this particular thing, whenever we move the shape, so in that case interactions. And moving the shape whenever we just simply select right, so move can only happen whenever we select the shape. So on pointer move selection. That will automatically be true. That's simple as that. So what is the next thing? If I actually go to pointer up now in here, so this is where we have to fix it. So what is the thing? The thing that we need to do in here, that is the, if there is a selected shape, not even selected shape now, because we don't care about the selected shape now anymore. Yeah, we need to care. So if there is a selected shape or clicked shape and the type is text and is not insane level. Do we have pointers? Yeah, we do have it here. Pointer s dot is driving f dot current. Const. This definitely needs to be here, but we can actually create a method for it. We'll see. Pointer downtime, pointer x dot duration is gonna be equals to current, that simply means performance dot now minus pointer downtime. In case if I have it, and this whole thing needs to be done only when I have type text, because I started it only when type was text. Okay, fine. So if the type is equals to text, in that case is dragging, we'll see if it is actually dragging or not. Again, is dragging. Needs to be set to false. That's fine, we'll be setting that. Pointer downtime, duration is gonna be here. What is the problem? This possibly null in that case. Okay, that's in that case if not pointer downtime, let's just simply return from here, because we do need it, and hopefully we'll definitely have it. And we'll just simply get the duration. And now if what should be the threshold? What should be there isn't a universal standard, but most developer desktop applications use values in this range of 150 to 200. This is very strict, feels instant, but they may miss slower clicks. 250 to 250. Let's go with 250 and we'll see. 250 milliseconds. So if duration is less than 250 milliseconds or equals to 250 milliseconds, that's fine. And not is dragging, in that case we have to do this, and at the end we have to just simply return from here. So it should be fine, shouldn't it? Hope so. And at the end so let's see. We wrote something, we saved it, we clicked it, We clicked and nothing happened. We clicked, we started editing. So suppose this is what we selected. Now we clicked. It is happening when I'm clicking twice. That's insane. That's the thing. Now what do we have to measure? We have to first of all start measuring when we click and the selector shape is there. Yeah, that's problem in the logic. When it comes to this on pointer down, we have to measure it when the type is equals to text and selected shape is already there, otherwise we don't have to do that. So what will happen that on pointer down we didn't have the selector shape. So now if I click here, not getting this timer started. Reload the page. Timer hasn't really started. We are moving it like anything. Now as I click on that, what is actually happening, that on pointer up, that's not being cancelled because the type is the text and all. That is right. We still have to reset few values, obviously. So in that case, interaction pointer up, we have to reset a few things. The most important thing is whichever are not being used in here. So in that case, is dragging pointer down time. So let me do one thing. This reset, I'll cut from here, probably these two, and I actually need to keep it here. And the one thing that I added here, that is this last thing, I'll be getting rid of it. And is panning, is pointer down, is resizable, and start line, we don't need any one of these things. And once this gets over, so probably here what is dragging and pointer down time. So pointer down time is actually being set over there, so no need to worry about that. This can definitely be set to null. but do we have to return from here? If the type is equals to text, so we have to we are setting all these values to this, and then pointer refs dot is dragging f dot current, that's gonna be false, and pointer refs dot pointer downtime ref dot current, that's gonna be null. It doesn't matter. And once this is done, so if this actually follows it all, then of course we have to return from here, otherwise we don't have to. Reload the page. That's fine. Click do. Let's see how it works. Done. Click do. Click do one more time, timer is started, and we got this. If the timer actually started, what is the millisecond duration ultimately? Duration. $1600 or something milliseconds. So then, okay, the next time whenever we are clicking that, the duration is already there. So we have to reset the duration to, once we do what? Once we click, once we select again. Otherwise duration is gonna be a lot. In that case, the duration that I am getting, that's too much. So when I click outside, at that time the duration should be reset. Clicking outside means what? So whenever, and then when we select again, the duration should start again. So first of all, whenever I'm clicking outside, and that is being handled inside text editing, handle parent pointer. So in here I have to get a ref parent refs, we don't have them. So use a text editing, what do we have to do? Canvas details. One more problem, that is getting a pointer ref here. The thing is that I've never had pointer ref in here. So in that case, I'll actually have to get the value in this particular canvas, and from here I'll actually have to pass. Okay, so in that case, if I actually go to user interactions, we have pointer refs here. I don't have to just simply have it here. Rather, the value of the pointer refs is actually going to be passed. So ref object, the type is gonna be return type of use pointer state. This should be like this only, and use pointer. This is already here, so what's the problem? Anyway, where am I passing this? I'm passing it here. That's gonna be ref object, type of that should be inside of that. this is fine. And what I'll do that I'll actually get it in here. Here we are, and once we have this, so I'm actually gonna pass it. That's not gonna be a that's not a ref object. Get rid of this. Now it's all right. Canvas.tsx, so we have this here. Once we have it, pointer refs, so the same can actually be passed inside text editing. Pointer refs, pointer refs, return type of use pointer state. Once I have it here, so whenever I click outside, at that time what should happen? Whenever I click outside, the value of save text is fine, we are gonna be saving the text, but pointer refs dot is down, pointer down ref that's actually gonna be null. Setting the value to null when clicked outside the text area box. Text area box, or the selector shape. Will it work? That's right, great. But the only thing is that we have to fix this thing right now. We have the right duration, right? And as I click outside and then click again, it should be null when I click outside. Not happening. I'm done, yaar. Working on this. So ultimately when I click, if there is no selected shape, at that time it should be null. No. Whenever I'm clicking and if the shape is type is not selected, at that time I have to set it to null. That's right. The logic that I implemented, that is wrong. So in that case, let me just try doing this from here. That selection interaction, this is where I'm setting the value to this, and I'd better return from here. Why? Because on pointer down, now I don't even need to select any shape if the type is actually text, and if there is no selected shape, so no problem as such. and if the type is not really that, so in that case the same value needs to be set to null. We don't really need this in the remaining cases. So timer is started. How about the duration? It's good that it is being set to null. And let me see, reload the page. Done. Clicked, nothing is happening. Clicked again, timer is started. Clicked, nothing is happening. Clicked again, timer is started, and the bounding box went away for some reason. Okay, that's all right. But ultimately, when we click again, once nothing happens. When we click again, at that time this timer actually starts. So at least this particular section is working. Let's go to the canvas interaction, and over here what we are doing, we are trying to get the we are even reset pointer state and all use canvas, that's fine. Talking about this particular thing right now, if this is equals to that, in that case we should be getting the duration. We are not even getting the duration. Is it because there's no selected shape? We should be getting the duration the second time. Yeah, we are not getting the duration. Is there no selected shape? When null. Wow, interesting. The question is that where is the selected shape going? This is never ever running. For example, we are not even setting them in here. Why is the value of selected shape being is actually disappearing from here? Selected shape. Set selected shape. Selectors, we have editor types, we have editor store, we have use shape resize, use shape move, now we have this. Clear selection. We are not even clearing the selection as such. We had the selected shape, then the pointer up happened. When we are clicking again, the selected shape is actually being null. Selected shape unknowingly, interesting. And most of the things happen on pointer down. So on pointer down, we are sort of returning, so the value is never really being set. Yeah, this return is the problematic thing, because if the second time we are returning directly from here, that simply means the selected shape is not gonna be set again. If the pointer up happens, that should be even fine, because only when we click outside the selected shape should go away. So if I go to text editing, this does not make any sense here. Save text shape. Okay. First of all, let's delete this return. But why is that even happening? It's insane that I have this return statement over here. Because of this, it's not getting. I'm not getting the shape. That is fine. But when I'm clicking for the first time, at that time I got the value of the selected shape. Initially, we clear the value. Whoa. Yeah. So whenever the mouse click happens, we actually clear the value. That simply means we remove the previous selected shape bounds whenever we click. Is this necessary? So whenever we are clicking down, so we have to make sure that previous selected shapes are gone. Really? Yeah. Really. So that's the one. It just simply clears everything. So that simply means over here I have to get rid of this. Then in that case, it will continue running. So what can I do? It should only run in else case. That should be fine. Better logic. Now click do. Duration is this. On pointer move, get rid of this. Let's talk about the duration in here. What is the duration? It's working the way I want it to work. So the duration, how good is dragging? Let's see. Is dragging true? Wow. It always remains true. Where am I setting the value of is dragging? As I move the mouse, as simple as that. So in this particular section, is dragging is actually being set to true, but now the selector shape is there. That's insane. And the pointer should be down. So if I have a selected shape and pointer is dot pointer down ref dot current, okay. Once we started editing this is great. and we clicked outside, it's gone. So this is what we have. Clicked, drawing is true. Why is the value of drawing true here? Because I never set it to false. So on pointer up, it needs to be false anyhow. That's right. On pointer up, it needs to be false. So whether that is the pointer down, at least this dragging section, it definitely needs to be false. So probably no need returning from here, otherwise that's gonna be problematic, and that is why if there is any selected shape, not even the type, still it should be false. Probably I should have it here. And as for that return statement, I'm gonna remove it. So I set the value of pointer down when the type was text and the shape was selected. Is that so? When the type was text and shape was selected. In the remaining case, of course, I'm setting it to null. Coming back to this text editing, not text editing actually, interaction. Of course, I have to enable them. Now, of course, I have to get rid of this. If the shape is selected and type is this, then at the end the value it should be set it to back to null. This is the first thing. The second thing is that we have the is dragging, we have pointer down, we have the duration. If the duration is less than 250 milliseconds, and if I'm not dragging, in that case, start editing. Now of course the way the code is written, that can be better, but for now let's assume that it just simply starts editing. We can create a function, proper function for it. We'll have we'll see that, and when they just simply reset the values. When we start editing, we sort of set a selected shape to null and selected bounds to null, so we clear the canvas. Clear selected shapes, clear selection. So let's, whatever the selection we had, we're gonna be clearing the selection just like this. So this is how it just simply happens. Clear selection if shape is being edited. That's pretty simple thing. And after that, whether we are editing or not, the pointer down should be null time, and whether the selected shape is text or not, dragging should be false. Okay, so this is how it should be going. Check this thing out. Wow, did it. Well, we have to organize our code a little bit, but overall things are great. That simply means, here is the text. I just wrote something here. Hi there, how are you doing? Okay, clicked outside. Now selected it again, and again once I click it one more time and I'm moving it here and then, nothing is gonna happen, right? If I click, and if I click one more time, then it just simply starts editing. So it started editing just like this. clicked outside, that's gone. Then selected the shape, we are able to move it here and there. Congratulations everybody, we've done it. Literally we've done it. Whew, it's been crazy. And now of course we can delete it. That's such an insane thing. Okay, never mind. We have to just organize the logic a little bit more. That particular thing is definitely gonna be done. It's already been 3 hours and 38 minutes. Even these types of features, they take a lot of time. The thing is, let me even git add text editing feature and eraser. Alrighty. This time I've done the best thing. I've committed the code. Alrighty, this must be done. Now we have to just simply refactor the code, make it better. Overall, what is the next thing that we have to focus on? Let's just simply have a look at that, so that even if I'm not working, I may get some ideas. Add text when double clicked, done. Implement, undo, redo, add multiple selections, we'll see. Come on, yaar. Here we are. So this is working, this is working, this is working. Is that okay? I'm able to write it at this point of time, but as I zoom and then if I try to write something, how does it work here? So if I zoom, if I try to write something, the size it doesn't have the effect of the scaling factor. Yeah, so we have to fix this in our case, so that when we zoom and we just simply suppose we are writing something, even if it is zoomed, so when it is actually being saved, at that time it should not have the effect of the scaling factor. So the font size of this one, right now the font size is actually being changed, so this thing we have to just fix. So the next goal is gonna be this only. When scaled and added a text, font size of the text should not change. So we have to just simply implement this feature. With this particular feature, I'll be working on it very soon. Until then, bye bye, take care. We've done a great job and happy to get that done. See you soon.